Here's just a quick little video clip. We're driving along in the Bronco for the first time with the top down, and I've got a carload with me here, and everybody, we're cruising along at 55, 60, and it's not bad. I mean, you want some sunglasses on, and maybe a hat, some sunscreen so you don't get burned, but it rides smooth. The road we're on is pretty bumpy. It's a kind of a coastal highway. It's pretty bumpy, and the on-road manners of the Bronco are good. This road has a lot of twists and turns to it, and it's handling them all just fine. It's very on-road worthy, and we're going to be going to some sand dunes today and trying it out in the sand, air down those tires, and we'll see how it does. I'll keep you tuned. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm glad I got the soft top. The soft top has been awesome. It's pretty quiet when we have the top up, or I guess down, closed, and then right now up, and it's 55 degrees. We got the heater on, heated seats, heated steering wheel. Feels awesome. So yeah, I would recommend the soft top. Soft top looks really good on the Bronco. It looks awesome. I highly recommend. If you're somewhere where there's a lot of snow or something, maybe that's not the place, but man, I'm really happy with the soft top. Just a quick footnote, 17.2 miles per gallon with the top down or off, however you want to say that, that's pretty good. Just another footnote, this is a Bronco Wild Track with a Sasquatch package, or in other words 35-inch tires, so with the V6 10-speed transmission, the 2.7 liter V6. So that's amazing fuel economy for pushing these big tires. We'll take it. On-road manners of the Bronco are very good. Very smooth. I just went over a bunch of potholes. Not as smooth as a Ford Expedition that we have, but I would say better than some of the Jeep and the other things that I've rented on vacation and so forth. And how awesome, driving down the coast here on Highway 101, a sunny day in the Bronco, top down. This is awesome. I cannot think of any other vehicle I'd want to be in right now. This is perfect. And what a day. What an awesome day. The first step is airing down. Got these little trailhead things that air down to 20 pounds. Got our whip on. So I'm getting ready to go out into the dunes. I put a flag on, I've aired down, but let's get this to, I'm gonna put it in Baja. There's Eco, Sport, Slippery, Mud and Ruts, Sand. Sand and Baja. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. Shifts into 4x4 mode, 4 high. Looks like the rear diff is unlocked. I wonder what it does in sand. I'm kind of curious in sand what it does. So there's sand. Let's let it drop in. Okay, it did lock the rear diff. That's what I want. I'm going to put it in sand mode since we're at the dunes. So that's what we're going to go with.
Bye.
We're in sand mode, aired down, and we are having no problems at all. No problems at all. This thing does great. Just awesome. No problem for the Bronco. Does great on the dunes. I mean, I wouldn't pull a hard turn with these aired down to 17 to 20 pounds because you could pull a bead off. But straight lines, mild turns, it'll be fine. The Bronco is doing great. This is kind of loose sand here. You can probably hear my flag in the background. It's pretty windy here. And this has no trouble in this loose sand aired down. Very impressive. I'm just crawling around here at a couple, 10 miles per hour, and it's doing great. Sasquatch package handles it awesome. No problem for the Bronco. And the Bronco just went up this hill, and it did fine. Didn't have enough skill to drive and to film that at the same time, but it did great. You can see we were driving all over Sand Lake here with the Bronco, and it does just fine. Haven't had any trouble yet. Sand mode seems to be the one to be in, and the 10-speed transmission and the V6 works perfect. I have no complaints at all.
Dang, it's sunny.
Okay, here we are. We're going down a pretty steep thing here. Oh yeah.
Not that steep.
Nothing to it. And I think we're gonna go across and go up one of these hill climbs over here. See how the Bronco does.
What?
Oh, that was deep. Oh, really impressed with the Bronco. It's kind of like a razor that has more amenities and rides smooth. Hit it.
I did.
Got it. Here we go. Got it.
I'm filming,
Going up
Dad.
this hill. This is a pretty good climb for a razor, let alone a Bronco.
It's just really bumpy, Dad. So it's.
Oh man, it is doing this no problem.
Pretty little
We'll turn
bumpy.
around and show you how steep this is. We're gonna come back down it.
Yep.
I mean, look at what this Bronco did. I cannot believe what it just did.
It's a Bronco, Dad.
I cannot believe it. Wow, that was a good hill climb. I think I could have gone a lot slower.
But no.
But momentum is your friend in the sand.
Oh.
I mean, this is ideal. Look at what we just went up. Look at that. Awesome.
I can't even see what I'm filming.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, air down, these tires really don't dig. I mean, they're floating really well. I mean, for a vehicle, this weight and everything, really impressed with how they work in the sand, these Goodyear Wrangler tires. Here's a little whoop section here. I'm not trying to hurt a brand new Bronco, but it's handling it really, really well. We're just floating right through this. Handles the whoops great. Here's kind of a smooth spot here. This is smooth, so let's see what this does. Whoa! This thing rips. Going back to the brakes here. Very impressed. This V6 with that 10-speed transmission, very brisk. One last clip before we air up and go home. The Bronco has surpassed my expectations. It was able to go up any hill I wanted to go up. I went up some steeper ones that I didn't catch on film because I wanted to pay attention to my driving, but this Bronco does great. Its level of capability is beyond what I had expected, honestly. Very compliant ride. Floats well on sand, hooks up, gets good traction. The sand drive mode worked really well. So super impressed with the Bronco today. And what's amazing is it does all this off-road, and it's I mean, this is loose, soft sand, and this thing is just, I don't even have to really use a lot of momentum unless it's super steep. It just somehow finds traction. It has a good traction to weight ratio, put a different way. I had a Ford Raptor, which I really liked. Great vehicle. No negatives on that vehicle at all. But this just feels like it's a little lighter, a little narrower, just a little more nimble, and not underpowered. That 2.7 liter V6 really does what it's supposed to do with that 10-speed. Finds power no matter where you're at. An iconic view. Ocean. More ocean, and the Ford Bronco. Here I am airing back up to 39 pounds, using this Milwaukee air compressor. So here we are with the Bronco. Just some post-drive thoughts of the Bronco. It handles better than I thought it would. It does better on road, plusher drive than I thought it would have. Pretty plush ride. Gets better gas mileage than I thought it would. I'm getting around 17.5 miles per gallon, even with the dune riding that I did today, but I drove about an hour and back and forth to get there. Soft top is good. It's quiet on the highway. Open, or down. It was around 50 degrees with the heated seats and steering wheel. It was very, 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 actually pretty nice ride. The person in the back gets a little more air. I left the windows at home, so we couldn't stop to put those in, but everybody, we kind of swapped people from the back to the front now and then to keep everybody happy. At the dunes, it did everything I wanted it to do. I have a Polaris Razor 1000, and this did everything that I wanted to do with it. It could have done more, but you go into something like this realizing you drove it here, drove it there, and you want to drive it home. So I always had that in the back of my mind, and I just didn't want to break anything. I like the way it looks. I think it looks good, and it really handles well. I mean, it really gets up and goes. The suspension with these Bilstein shocks, this is a Wild Track with the factory lift and 35-inch tires, Sasquatch package, and it did great. It really did. The 2.7 liter V6 and the 10-speed transmission. I didn't find any flat spots. I did hill climbs that I thought I would need a lot of momentum, but I didn't. I was able to crawl up many of them and float more than I thought I would. I had a couple of Ford Raptors, a first gen and a second gen before this. I actually sold my Raptor to get this, just because I wasn't driving the Raptor that much. It was the best truck I've ever had, so no, can't knock the Raptor at all. This, though, a little lighter, floats a little better. Got the interior, very comfortable. Love the seating position. Love everything about it. And so I guess in summary, this did better than I thought it would do on-road, and it's handling better than I thought it would off-road. Very, very happy with this. Highly recommend. If you've got one on order, hang in there. I waited almost 2 years for this, but to be fair to Ford, about 3 months shy of 2 years, and I would do it again. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I'm glad I got the soft top. I kind of waffled on that. I'm glad I got the Sasquatch package. I'm like 5'7" on a good day, probably closer to 5'6", 6.5. So I can get in and out. My kids can get in and out. So there you have it. Highly recommend. On and off-road capability, very good. Here's just a quick little video clip. We're driving along in the Bronco for the first time with the top down, and I've got a carload with me here, and everybody, we're cruising along at 55, 60, and it's not bad. I mean, you want some sunglasses on, and maybe a hat, some sunscreen so you don't get burned, but it rides smooth. The road we're on is pretty bumpy. It's a kind of a coastal highway. It's pretty bumpy, and the on-road manners of the Bronco are good. This road has a lot of twists and turns to it, and it's handling them all just fine. It's very on-road worthy, and we're going to be going to some sand dunes today and trying it out in the sand, air down those tires, and we'll see how it does. I'll keep you tuned.